I can't see a thing, Jim.
Well, hold on.
I swear, it's always some damn thing. Wait, got it. Ah, hell, this thing ain't gonna hold.
Shut up.
And so will he. We're back. Yeah, I thought the scrap launcher ability was very confused as well, because if they have great armor, then you're probably not going to do any damage, so the ability won't work. And if they have terrible armor, then you're probably not going to roll above their armor number, and the ability probably won't work. So it feels a bit confused to me. And if you do it on your opponent's turn, you're hitting on 5s. Nah, no thanks. Big name is funny. Subfaction, maybe, but still probably you just want to cast your spells. Not great. And the fact that we didn't get mount traits and none of the war scrolls were Beast Claw war scrolls, I basically expected that. The Beast Claw half of the army is doing better right now in the win percents. And historically speaking, amongst these updates, they're not buffing the good part of the army. Unless the army is just dog water, right? So I wasn't expecting that, really expecting that to happen. I was sad the lead belchers weren't one of the war scrolls. They really, and I mean, they put their foot down, okay? I'm your father. And I say no. And what I say goes around here. We will not ever make lead belchers even remotely good, and that's final. They will not do it. So okay, fair enough. That's not part of your design philosophy. I had a loose part of the hat there. Yeah, this is a corporate demands it. The CEO. Anyway, let's cleanse our palate with some Slaves to Darkness. I'm sure they're great. Scourge of Ghyran, are you deserving of glory? Well, apparently not if you're an ogre player. Glory comes to those who desecrate the lands of all who oppose the dank Gawoods. Tear down their idols and slaughter all their people. Well, most of the time, glory comes to them. Sometimes they are treated despondum. Lydia has avoided that particular indignity. So let's hear what she has to say.
The Dark Oath surged through the thickening wood, crashing through branch and briar. They raided ahead of their lord's host, their prey, the soft-skinned settlers of Thyria. Vargan's axe was red from the many severed heads adorning his belt, the war chief swearing oaths to Karneth in hopes of further slaughter. Yet, he had not reckoned on the storm-touched ones as they materialized amongst his kin. Daubed in sigils of death, they laid about themselves with sword and hammer. One of his warriors, Lothgear, was blasted apart by a tongue of lightning, and Vargan felt his courage falter as he faced almost certain doom. As the storm touch slew the raiders, a monstrous bellow rang out. The source crashed through the trees half a breath later, the beast and its rider crushing the hammer god's warriors and scattering them. Eyes alight like fire, Abraxia raised her spear and roared. Vargan felt a surge of fury ignite his blood. He struck down a storm-touched warrior still reeling from his lord's arrival, planting his axe in his opponent's impassive war mask. The Dark Oath charged, howling their hatred for the Liar God's craven ilk. "None shall live!" cried Abraxia. None did.
She sounds like when you click on a cultist character of an RTS who's about to be sacrificed, you know? Got that down. You know, the readers are just random office people, but Lord, that's a voice for a silent film. Look, she's getting into it, okay? She's getting into the character. The Iron Blaster is technically better, but still feels a little too similar to what we already have. Yeah, you are right. It's like, it is slightly better, possibly. You play it if you, like, have been wanting to. I don't know if it's optimal or not. But that's technically almost something. Is Abraxia bad? Not as such, no. You just kind of assumed she was good because of how cool she looks. Well, that was your first problem. That's not how it works in this game, sadly. But you know that's a bad move with GW. Yeah. Abraxia isn't bad. She's just very expensive, and also she wants you to do a very expensive thing. So that's Abraxia. She's actually cool. She's actually cool and good. It's just she's expensive, and she wants you to do a very expensive thing. That's the thing with Abraxia. You're going to be like hyper elite, but you're going to have a... Wait, did they fix her combo? They might have fixed her combo. But hey, all right. That's, to me, I can't remember any specifics, but I remember that was my takeaway from it. A woman voice actor. Yeah, dude, I just played Expedition 33. There were tons of woman voice actors in that game. They were pretty good. To be TBH. Couldn't understand a word they were saying. It was in French, but they sounded really good. The forces of the dank gods do like a good battle formation, and there are two in this update. Chaos Horde sees the Dark Oath emulating the actions of Chaos Warriors. They should emulate the action of throwing them in the trash. Sorry, I blew up there. If they seem particularly enraged, the Dark Oath will whip themselves into a frenzy to impress them. If they smell awful, the Dark Oath will put on a bit of a cough. Huh? Champion of Chaos really benefits characters who gain an extra 2 attacks for walking the path of glory. Well, that's the problem with foot heroes. They walk the path. They don't drive the path. There are 3 new artifacts. The Varanite Shackle is especially useful to Dark Oath hordes, as it gives nearby units Ward 6, which can become Ward 5 if they pledge themselves to Nurgle. So they probably will. Meanwhile, the Amulet of Chaos harvests the energy of slain foes and uses it to bring Dark Oath warriors back to the fight. Lastly, the Head of the Unworthy can be claimed by a hero should another of your heroes be slain to gain 8 Dark Apotheosis points. It's almost like they wanted that other guy to die. Okay, so we're getting a bunch of Dark Oath buffs here, which makes sense because it's the part of the army no one cares about or plays. I don't even know if it's good because I don't care, but somebody probably does. The War Scroll update is for none other than Abraxia. Oh, okay. Somebody here just asked if Abraxia was good, and I gave my canned response from the before time Abraxia. And so I would ask the stenographer to strike that last response from the record, because I don't know the new Abraxia War Scroll. Maybe this one's good. Already an all-conquering nightmare on the battlefield, her acquisitiveness has ascended to new heights. Put simply, what was yours is now hers. And if you're lucky, if you're still alive, to thank her for taking it off your hands. Okay? She now charge through enemy units, and she can heal when she's contesting an objective she doesn't yet control. When she wounds big foes with her spear, they suffer such severe mutations they can't possibly think about holding an objective. You know what's better than any of that shit? Just killing it. But hey, alright. Nearby units that don't have a pledge to chaos are inspired to greater acts of violence and trying to take an objective. It's kind of like an offering to Abraxia. She could easily take it herself, but it's the thought that counts. And only 1 War Scroll. Okay. Do I have the next one lined up correctly? I do not. It's Slash. I do not. It's Luminath. I do. It's Slaves. Zoom in. And now, books. What's the previous version? We'll open that up. Just for cross-referencing. Battle formations. First and foremost, let's look at what are the ones you choose from right now. United in Dankness. Well, there are at least 1 friendly Warrior Chaos hero and 1 other friendly Demon hero on the battlefield. Add 2 to control scores. Trash. Ironclad Onslaught. Pick an objective that is contested by any friendly units. Place a defiled token next to it, then roll d3 for each enemy unit contesting an objective that has a defiled token on a 2-up. They take damage. This one's actually cool. I like this one. This one was cool. It was the one that I played against when most S2D players played against me. They were playing this thing. And it did things. It accomplished stuff. I thought it was cool. The defiled token, it just stays forever. Just stays there. That's cool. Aren't these rules optional? They are, yeah. But I was speaking about past Abraxia, and now I get to look at new one to see. Once per turn army reaction, you declare a fight ability for a friendly Demon Prince unit. Nah. Once per turn army, your movement phase. There's a friendly Dark Oath here on the battlefield. There won't be. Okay, so before you chose Ironclad Onslaught, and it was actually pretty cool and tactical, and then you had 3 craps that weren't good. Now you get 2 more choices. Once per turn army, your hero phase, Devotees of Ruin. Your friendly Warriors of Chaos unit, then pick up the 2 visible friendly Dark Oath units that do not have a pledge to Chaos keyword nor holier than 12 until the start of your next turn. The targets have the same pledge as the Warrior of Chaos unit. Okay. Okay. So you pick a Warrior Chaos unit, and then you can grant your pledge to some Dark Oath nearby. Is there a pledge that's like, it's not Mark, right? It's different than Mark. It's pledge. You don't give them a mark, you give them a pledge. How is it possible that they made this confusing? Well, let's look at the pledge. What kind of pledge are we doing here? Scrolling, looking for Dark Oath units. Here we go. Dark Moth Marauders. If it charges phase in the automatic... What's a pledge? Help me out here. Pledging is marking. It happens in-game instead of army building. Okay. It's now during the battle. Would this be a pledge? Oath of the Marauder? No, it's an army rule? Okay, we're going all the way back up again. So Eye of the Gods, Mark of Chaos. Pledge is now during the battle. You're looking at the index, not the tome. Oh, you're right. Yeah, every time this gets me. I'm looking at the index, not the battle tome. Every time I'm bamboozled. I forgot I need the tome. Okay. Well, strike all that shit. I guess I won't know what we're looking against. Because I don't have the book. Yeah. The chat delay caught up everyone who's telling me that. I see. Man, I thought I was finally hoodwinked by this. Anyway, all right. I'm not sure because I don't know any of the others. I guess I could just go find it. It's on the internet, you know? I could just get it real quick. Paragons of Darkness, add 2 tax characteristic of melee weapons used by friendly non-monster Slave of the Darkness heroes. Are there any non-monster Slaves of the Darkness heroes that I want in combat, really, for any reason? I just asked that as a somewhat rhetorical question. I think no. Corn is +1 attack, no charge. Oh, it's just +1 attack now. Slanesh is 3d6 charge, drop the lowest. Zinj gets a weird teleport that you can only use on your turn. Nurgle 6 up ward that upgrades to 5, as mentioned in the article. Okay. All of them besides Abraxia and Archaon are non-monsters. Okay. Yeah, just Discord DM it to me. I'm going to download it and keep it in my bin over here so I can pull it up on stream. Anyone who feels like it. Yeah, so it's just Bellicor, Abraxia, and Archaon. So like mounted hero guy, you know, so on and so forth. Karkalord. How come the Karkalord isn't a monster but Abraxia is? That's weird. Anyway, I don't... She's bigger? Okay, hey, fair enough. It's the bigness that counts. She's bigger, okay. No, it makes sense. Hey, Slays to Darkness players, is this good? Could you just not, like, man, if only my Dark Oath had a pledge to chaos, then they would be amazing. I mean, maybe I could see it in a vacuum. I'm having to ignore a lot of specificity here, but it's definitely possible. Lemon on Rye, thanks for the lemon and the rye for the tier 155. When the streak started, the sub could still buy a sandwich, Peepo said. Hey, sorry about that. Why would you have 2 Dark Oath within 12? Well, it's pick up to 2. But I mean, I take your point. Depends if Vanguard and Chosen are still broken. I guess for the poor soul who just wants to play Dark Oath, which I can't put myself in their shoes, but surely that has to exist somewhere, right? They at least get pledges now. Anyway, artifacts of power, fell artifacts. End of any turn, Amulet of Chaos. Pick a visible enemy unit within 12 of this unit to be the target. Then you can pick a Dark Oath infantry in combat with the enemy unit to be the friendly. So it has to be the end of a turn in combat, and you didn't kill the enemy. So you've already kind of failed. Appreciate it, Nezermore. I'll grab it afterwards. People not use Wikipedia anymore. I never like to on stream because this is going to sound dumb probably, but like I like putting the war scroll up here. You can kind of see the background of the book when they put it on the webs. I kind of like doing that. The Wikipedia thing, it does give you the info and it's great, but I wanted just like 1% more production value of having it kind of look like the GW thing. But yeah, I should just bring it all up on Wikipedia. You're right. You're simply right. Roll D3 on a 2-up, inflict an amount of mortal damage equal to the roll. If there's a friendly target, return number of slain equal to the roll. Nah. No. The Veronite Shackle. Friendly non-warriors of chaos, slaves the darkness units have ward 6 up. Well, they're wholly within 12 of this one guy. And then Head of the Unworthy. If a friendly saves the darkness hero with a dark apotheosis points is destroyed, give this unit 8. Okay. So you have one hero and then another hero. And if the other hero dies, then this hero gets a bunch of DA points. So Therodons can get a ward, in other words. Don't let yourself be bullied. I mean, I won't be bullied, but a good suggestion is a good suggestion in any case, you know. Is there some kind of funny combo you can do? A whole bunch of foot heroes, get them killed on purpose, and like stack DA points. I don't know what they do. Amberdown's getting another 2 attacks is also pretty decent. It's good for Tzeentch, but Tzeentch doesn't have warriors or knights, so actually, yeah. I told you not to get bullied. This isn't... Now you're bullying me. Anyway, Abraxia, are you cool? 14, 10, 3, 5. Like, what a wheel. That's a wheel. That's a wheel, good wheel. Gorgonbola, the accursed 5 attacks, 3-3-2-3. Anti-hero +1 rend, charge +1 damage. Jesus, okay. It's a fucking weapon. So against a hero on the charge, it's 5 attacks. All-out attack, maybe 2s and 3s, 3, 4. She's swinging some fucking Kragnaros-ass weapon. Again, in really specific situations, but still, it's funny. And the Thanatorga Vicious Claws, 6-4-2-2-2. Okay. Unstoppable evasion. Look at the dude, it's the fucking meme, the big body, tiny head meme. I love the big body, tiny head meme. Perfect. Unstoppable invasion. Once per turn, army, any charge phase. If this unit charges this phase, pick an enemy unit within 1 to be the target. Inflict D3. Then roll 2d6. Move a distance up to the value of the roll. It can pass through models, but it must end the move in combat. Hey, it's the Frostlord ability. Got the Frostlord ability. And it got the cool part, which is D3 auto. D3 auto, and then if you roll box cars, you can make a big playmaking thing, like 10 up. A 10 up on 2d6, you could possibly do some playmaker thing. Lower than that, and you're not going to be able to land anywhere useful. 3d6 made the playmaker roll average. Now with 2d6, it's only a rarity, but it is still possible. You just got to roll really high from somebody who played with it for a while. Champion of the Undivided. Pick friendly non-unique Slays Darkness unit only than 12 of this that does not have a pledge. For the rest of the turn, add 1 to the rend and weapons used by them, but they will have a pledge. Probably. Like you're probably just always playing with 1. So this really doesn't do anything. Unending Will to Conquer. End of any turn if this unit is contesting an objective you do not control, heal d6. I expect her to conquer an objective when she lands on it. For the most part. You pledge once per turn, so there will be stuff to target for a while. Okay. And you have less marks now. All right. End of any turn, Mutative Spear. Pick an enemy unit that had any damage allocated to it. Target has a max control score of 1 for the rest of the turn. It's like helps this thing not work in a certain way. But then again, I expect to kill stuff, really. So you could give a 2 Vanguard and then have the Therodon unit be red 3 against the infantry. So somebody asked, is the new Abraxia good? I mean, her attacks are good, and her wheel is good. Her rampage is good. People tell me that this ability is usable. I don't know about this thing and this thing. I suppose any potential healing you can give to this wheel is strong, I suppose. Not really. Scoring is the absolute last thing you do. Scoring is the last thing you do. But when do you determine contesting? I guess if you're standing on it, you're instantly contesting, maybe? I'd have to go open up a book and look at it, but the bonus isn't good enough for me to care anyway. It doesn't really factor into it too much. Yeah, contesting is not scoring. You are right. Yeah, I would probably play the old one, maybe. I can't remember the old one because it's in a book I don't have, but... Like, she has a cool rampage. And she's just like meat and potatoes, a quality killer unit. I suppose this is her This is her force multiplication here on this thing. Whatever the answer for these two final abilities is, I don't really care. It doesn't affect whether or not I think she's good. So I don't much mind. 360 is a lot, though. Friendly non-unique slaves, holier than 12, that does not have a pledge. So if you're playing any of those, then maybe. Old one only buffed Vanguard. Old one only buffed the unit that you were definitely playing already. Maybe that's the problem with any update to Slaves to Darkness is, what are you currently doing? The hottest shit ever. Do you want to do less hot shit? No. Maybe that's the problem with any change they would have done here. End of turn. Active player abilities. Inactive player abilities count up control scores, determine who controls, and then score. So whether or not you're controlling it, that doesn't happen until almost the very end. So this thing happens first, because this is an ability. And then if you killed the unit, you're controlling it, and this doesn't work. If you didn't kill the unit, its control score drops to 1, and then you see if you control it, and you probably do, and then this doesn't work. Right? Well, no, I guess you could, I mean, this is an ability too, isn't it? And you control both abilities, so I guess perhaps you could stack them how you wish. Much like in Magic, responding to yourself. So you're just like, well, before I determine that, give me the heal. Hey, all right. I don't think it much matters in any case, but it is important to know how it actually works. Slaves to Darkness update. Unbelievable levels of I don't give a single fuck. Holy shit, I don't care. Out of 10. I might even grade it on a 100-point scale. I don't care at all out of 100. Dark Oath are stupid. They make the army bigger than it should be. They could have been used to fill out an army that actually needed updates instead. They're dumb. All this shit's worse and looks worse, both, than what you were doing already. Yeah, what the fuck ever. Very much apologize to anybody who likes Dark Oath. I don't mean to bully you. But it takes stern stuff to look at Fridge Frazetta and be like, no thanks. No thanks. I'll play this other stuff instead. I'll play the Bone Splitters of Slaves to Darkness instead. Thanks. No. All right. F, and then on a curve F. Don't care out of 10,000. Sorry, Seraphon players. Sorry, Slaves to Darkness, Dark Oath enjoyers. Everybody has their opinions. A lot of people don't like ogres, and you are allowed that opinion. And I'll fight for your right to have that opinion as well. Frazetta loved painting naked barbarians. He did, and he was great at it. It doesn't change my point.